Percival is by far one of the strongest damage dealers in the entire game, capable of easily dealing millions of damage in an instant, while at the same time being able to parry opponents and through the use of a couple of new techs, never stop doing damage. As soon as I saw him I knew he was going to be a strong character in this game, but he actually turned out to be much more powerful than I first anticipated, and so in today's video I will be going over an optimized build for Percival, as well as a couple of tricks that have recently been found that will make his damage output go through the roof. With that being said, hello everyone, my name is Darkhero and welcome back to another build perfected video, this time for Percival. I hope you're all enjoying the videos and let's get started. Now before I show you my optimized build, let me show you these two new tricks that I'm talking about. So as I'm sure most of you already know by now, Percival's gameplay is all about using his Schlatt, his charged attack, and using skills beforehand to be able to charge it up even faster to deal as much damage as possible. So the first trick I'm going to show you, and it's something that I have shown with other characters before, is that you can use one of these skills and before the skill comes out you dodge it like there, and by cancelling it with this dodge you still retain the skill cooldown but you're able to charge up your Schlatt much faster. You can do this with a bunch of different skills, but it's going to be harder with some of them. In my opinion I found that Mact, which is the gap closer that gives you Stout Heart, as well as Royal Authority are the ones that are the easiest to pull off with this. And because I like using Mact so often as a gap closer that also grants me Stout Heart, and also deals plenty of damage, I personally find it best to save Royal Authority as your cancel skill to be able to use your Schlatt much more often. Now the next trick is a little bit of a bug that is somewhat hard to explain, so I'm going to outright show the comparison here so that you can see the bug in action. So we're going to go ahead and buff ourselves, use the flame wheel, and I'm going to wait for the duration of it to end, and once it finishes I'm going to follow it up with a fully powered Schlatt. Like so. As you can see, that dealt just under 3.5 million. Now let me show you how this is going to change with the bug. Once again we're going to buff ourselves beforehand. That part isn't mandatory by the way. We're going to use the flame wheel and we're going to right after charge the Schlatt. We're going to use it and not touch the controller anymore. And as you saw, the damage shot up to almost 9.5 million damage, and if you were just a bit faster you would be able to hit 10 million damage. So the idea here is that whenever you place down the flame wheel and you immediately go into the Schlatt, and you let go of the controller, the game will actually modify the damage cap of your flame wheel, and I believe it is going to associate the damage cap of your Schlatt, which is why your damage output is going to scale so exponentially. It is a huge difference, but again it is a bug, so if you don't like using this you don't have to, but this is the secret sauce that allows Percival to deal upwards of 55 million damage in the 60-second damage test. Even without the bug or the skill cancel, I would argue that Percival is still one of the strongest characters in the game, simply because of his insane and low commitment damage output, and also because how easy of a character he is to use. Now let's take a look at my endgame build for Percival, that I really do believe has been optimized to deal as much damage with him as possible. Of course, for the weapon you'll want to go with the Terminus weapon, and if you don't have access to it, the crit rate is going to be a nice cheap alternative. As for my overmasteries, as you can see, I have skill damage cap up and skill damage up, both at 20%, as well as normal attack damage cap up at 16%. Ideally, the normal attack damage cap up would also be plus 20%. Sadly, I haven't been that lucky, but of course, raising your damage cap is going to be your #1 priority. And now let's take a look at my Percival sigils. I am of course running the Lord's Procession signature sigil, which is going to boost the damage cap of my Schlatt by 50%. This sigil is pretty much mandatory on Percival, so try to get one as soon as possible, and it also has the benefit of raising your movement speed by 20% whenever you are charging up your Schlatt. As you can see, mine came with damage cap, which is ideal, as I am able to remove one of these damage cap sigils. And speaking of which, this one comes with improved dodge, just a nice quality of life sigil that is going to allow me to dodge up to 7 times and have more iframes on my dodge. And these two come with quick cooldown, just for me to have the flame wheel as well as my personal buff available as much as possible, as these are going to be huge sources of my damage, especially when using the flame wheel bug. I am also using a quick charge sigil and one tyranny sigil. Quite frankly, I am able to hit the damage cap without the use of the quick charge sigil, but I do appreciate having the faster charge time, which is why I run it, but you could totally replace this with a more defensive or utility sigil. And my tyranny comes with tyranny and aegis, which is going to round up my health pool, so I still gain the benefits of tyranny without lowering my HP. And potion hoarder is just a nice quality of life addition to make myself more sustainable. I then have a couple of critical hit rate sigils, because I don't have critical hit rate on my overmasteries, and these two come with both critical hit rate and stamina, so I am able to max out my stamina, which in combination with tyranny is going to allow me to hit the damage cap. And the final 4 sigils are of course the ones that come from the curio boxes, the War Elemental, which is quite simply one of the best in the game, which is going to boost your damage output by 20% by making it so that your attacks all have superior element against any enemy, and the 3 supplementary damage sigils are going to guarantee that I am able to trigger the supplementary damage, which you can think of it as an extra hit that is going to deal 20% of the original's damage. And in case you were wondering, yes, it does stack with the supplementary damage that you get from this skill right here. The only supplementary damage 5+ that I have comes with improved healing, which is nothing too good, but you already need to have a lot of RNG to be able to have all 4 of these, so if you don't get as lucky, don't be discouraged. You can totally substitute them with more utility skills like Guts or Auto Revive, just to be able to be even tankier. With this exact setup, you'll be able to hit the damage cap on pretty much everything in your kit, except for your aerial attacks and your skybound art, and of course we're not going to be focusing on those. Our biggest priority are going to be the Schlatt and the Flame Wheel, and we'll be able to deal as much damage as possible with those two. I'm not even running Glass Cannon on my build, but you can see from the gameplay in the background the insane damage output that Percival can have, and as I said before, you can totally replace the Quick Charge Sigil, and if you get lucky you can even replace the Critical Hit Rate Sigil with more general traits that are going to be more beneficial for you. Now let me showcase some clips that I have recorded to show this build in action while playing solo in Proud difficulty quests. We're up against the Black Dragon. Let's start off by buffing ourselves here. He's gonna use the breath attack. Gonna put that down. And just look at the damage output of that thing. We have to be careful of the slows, because they are going to affect us. And make the Schlatt charge slower. Ooh, we get a parry there. Dodge the breath attack. And again, we're using Royal Authority just for the cancels here. Gonna try to get him to get away from the pulls there. I had to dodge that attack sadly, but we did put that down in a good place. He goes into overdrive. I think he's gonna go into bloodthirst. Oop, did not mean to throw it there. Not yet. Gonna take this time to buff myself. Gonna try to parry that. There we go. Beautiful. This is why I like Percival so much. He's able to keep on dealing damage relentlessly, and having such an easy parry to do is very nice. Gonna try to put down the Flame Wheel here. There we go. Ah, he moves sadly. Goes into Bloodthirst, that's fine. You can also parry these waves that come from here, like so. But personally I prefer to dodge them like this. Well, we're gonna try to parry that. There we go. Again, Percival's parry is such a good tool. Ooh, nice, we dodged that breath attack. Pop the supplementary damage. Gonna try to place down the Flame Wheel here. Okay, we get a good dodge there as well. And just look at the damage output of that thing. We do parry the second hit there. I was trying to get away from him to not get hit, because I didn't expect myself to actually time it properly there. But I was stuck because of his tail. But we actually managed to parry that, so that was nice. Nice, big damage. Gonna throw this orb at him. Nice, we dodged that. Gonna put this down here. I don't think it's hitting him. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I should have aimed it a little bit better. Oh, camera, please! Why is the camera the worst enemy in this game? He's gonna do the breath attack. Gonna try to parry. Nope. I did bury one of the Dark Orbs. Big damage. Cancel the Royal Authority. I'm really trying to see if I can get a Link attack here. Probably won't be able to. Yeah, especially with the slows. We get a break, which is quite nice. So we're going to be able to deal a lot of damage here. And I will be triggering the Link attack. Nice. Already halfway through his HP. Gonna try to parry that. Nice. Love to see it. I do get hit by the follow-up slows. It's the annoying part about the parry. It doesn't make you immune to any CC. He's doing the sweeping breath attack. Nice. That's a little bit tricky to deal with. So I usually like to get up close whenever he's doing that. We do lose guts, but things worked out. I am running out of potions, so I do need to be careful here. We're getting a lot of iframes and parries, so that's nice. Actually gotta go ahead and use Royal Authority here, actually spend the skill just to get rid of all of these. We bury that, beautiful. And then I'm gonna put this down. And we parry the sweeping attack as well, you'll love to see it. And we have Royal Authority back up again. If I was playing solo, I would not have used Royal Authority there. But since I am playing solo, I do feel like it was worth it to use it there to get rid of all of these obstacles. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and dodge that. Very nice. Use Max as a gap closer. He's gonna do that, so I'm gonna try to parry that. Let's go. Very nice. Put the flame wheel down. I don't think he's gonna move right away. And we parry that as well. Beautiful. I don't have a charged attack to parry, so let me try to get out of these. Nice. We have guts back up again. Very nice. We actually parried the orb that was spawning there, accidentally. That was nice. We parried the claw attack, very nice. That being said, this is how I found Percival to work best in the endgame of Granblue Fantasy Relink, and if we end up finding some new tech, or if these endgame builds end up being updated with the Lucilia's raid, I will be sure to update them in more videos, so look forward to all of that. With that being said, let me know which character I should cover next. My name is Dark Hero, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, happy hunting!